to Right This Moment, the podcast where we share our writing journeys through every chaotic moment.
We're your hosts, Peyton and
Brittany.
and today we're going to be catching up on our current writing projects, but also if you watched the last episode, you will know that we had some exciting updates about Brittany's querying journey, and we're going to give you even better of an update of what's going on with that situation, what's the future of her current projects, because she has several to work on, and she had an original plan for this year that might be changing. So it's going to be exciting to hear about that. And then there's me, still writing my first draft, taking like a century. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it because most of this
Yeah.
episode is going to be about Brittany, questioning and Brittany giving us a full scoop interview about what's going on with Brittany. I'm
All
excited.
about me.
It's like it's a good time. Like this is really nice that we somehow ended up starting a podcast
Yeah.
while this was happening for you because you can like document this. Obviously, you're documenting it on your booktube channel. Go subscribe. Brittany and Books. But that's really cool. But then I get to talk to you about it. So I
My
enjoy that.
favorite. I love talking
Yes.
to you,
I
obviously.
love talking to you. This is like making sure we have a scheduled chat
Yes.
very frequently.
Hmm.
So I'm here for it because we need that sometimes. Sometimes it's
We
hard.
do. Yeah.
We have a 3 hour difference too. So,
Hmm.
like, you can't always be ready to figure that out. But okay, I feel like I've already talked too much, just started, but whatever. I'm gonna get into my current writing update. Brittany knows that I had a very chaotic past week. So,
Yeah.
when's the last time we filmed a podcast? Like, I don't know,
It was
week
like,
or two ago.
yeah. It was right
So,
before agent stuff happened.
yeah, so like a weekish ago. So, I haven't had too much progress. And I mean, my dad's been listening to my podcast, so we'll see if he catches this one.
Has
He
he?
actually has.
That's so
So,
cute.
and I
Oh, we love
appreciate
Papa
it.
Reads. We love
I
Papa Reads.
I think it's because he was kind of telling me to start a podcast, and I feel like you said somebody in your family was telling you to start a podcast or something, but
I can't remember.
I ended up doing it, and he's like, "Wow." But speaking of Papa Reed's dad, what are you doing? He got in a crazy car crash, scared everybody. You know, somebody died. Wasn't him, thank God. So he's
Yeah.
still with us. He
Like,
is
yeah.
still with us, bruised and everything. So as you can imagine, I was not in the writing mood. Like the day that this happened, I woke up. Like I had a day off of work. Like it was a Friday that I had a day off of work. When does that happen? You know, that was nice. I woke up and I finished editing a video, uploaded it, and that's when it happened. I was gonna write 2,000 words that day. I was like, I'm set. I'm excited for this little writing day. No. So,
The
Dad, it's
universe
your
had other
fault.
plans.
I know. So, so glad he's okay. Writing, I'm almost at 47,000. I'm like 200 words shy from that. So
That's so
I,
good.
I'm sad though, it didn't hit my 50K goal before August 31st. So I'm depressed, but I do think I
Life
have a good
happens.
excuse.
Yeah, I would say so.
I definitely do. So I'm super excited. I think last time I talked to y'all, I was in the Bad Guys Close In beat, if you are familiar with Save the Cat beats. And now I'm in All Is Lost. And honestly, my Dark Night of the Soul, they kind of like, I'm writing this ending fast. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm so done with it that
Yeah.
it's like, it's way shorter than I probably would normally write these scenes. But I just, like I said, I originally pictured this draft to be like 70K, and I think it's going to be around like 60K, but we'll see if I'm wrong. Just the first draft. I think
Yeah.
it will definitely be beefed up. I have like a lot of ideas about how to redo the beginning. And
Hmm.
I realized I didn't even say anything about what this project is. If you haven't listened, hold on. My cat is crying to be let in. I must
Oh
let her in.
no. Katniss Kitty.
It is. The project that I'm referencing is my paranormal ghost horror novel that I've been writing with new adult aged characters. So, been having a lot of fun with that, and it's kind of been like a discovery writing process because yes, I did have an outline and like I did another outline in the
Yeah,
middle of writing this, but I really feel like I have to get to know my characters. Like I'm not going to understand them just off of an outline and like these ideas I came up with. I feel like I'm learning about my main character Ruth right now.
hmm
And now that I have the knowledge that I have now, I'm super excited to rewrite like Act 1 specifically because I feel like the image that I had of her, it's interesting because I I had a very strong character in my mind, and she is strong, just it's in a different way. I was not expecting to like have her be as flawed as she actually is ending up being. Like, she was kind of like a superhero in my brain. Like, she was really trying to get justice for her sister because her sister is some crazy shit happened, okay? Crazy shit with ghosts. Um, and instead, like I think she's much more fearful of jumping back into it than I really understood. So she's not as easy to like as I originally thought she was, and I think that makes it a lot more interesting. So,
absolutely.
'cause like, we need an arc. We need to
Yeah.
see her grow into like the strength. She's had this strength in the past. I think that's kind of what I'm discovering is like she had this and there was like there's a 6 year time jump between some of the events in her past that were really crazy and then now. And she's kind of trying to move on and for other characters to bring her back in. Like, it's really traumatic to face those things. Like, she doesn't
hmm
want to face those things. So, long-winded a way to say, I'm really excited for the second draft. So that is the thing I needed to say today because I don't know. I just feel like I'm finally like really understanding her in a way that I just couldn't have when I was outlining this. So my draft two is gonna be cute.
I'm very
I hope.
excited. Like, I want to read it so badly. And can I just say that my dad is very, like, jealous that you're writing horror and I'm not. He's like, why can't you be more like her? Because he's
Oh
like
my
a
God.
huge horror fan and I'm just like not as big of a fan. Like he likes the slasher movies and like things like that. And I like the horrors that like have more like characterization. So like movies like The
Yeah.
Conjuring where it's like more with ghosts, more paranormal, more, there's characters to like root for and follow.
Yes.
Whereas, like, I don't like the Friday the 13th as much or like things like that. Um, so he's like, "What do you write?" And I'm like, "I write romance." And he's like, "Ugh." And I'm like, "Peyton's writing
Come
horror,"
on.
and he's like, "Why can't you be like her?" And I'm like, "Sorry to
Okay,
disappoint."
but there's a romance in there too, so I don't know if that
Yeah,
will disappoint him, but
maybe.
I agree with you though. Like I preferred the more psychological, like where you
hmm
really get into the nitty-gritty with these characters. And
Yeah.
I just watched Friday the 13th, the first one for the first time.
I've never seen the first one. I'm not gonna lie. I'd
Oh
like
my
he jumped
God.
in and showed me like random ones. I've seen like maybe 4 or 5 of them throughout, but I've never seen the first one because I just have no interest.
Honestly, I don't blame you because that was a weird one.
I've seen
But
clips from it. Like I know what happens to the mom. I've seen
the
that.
mom was crazy. That's what really was getting me. And then the way it
Mama
ends.
Voorhees. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not both of our dads like having like intense opinions about
Yeah,
what
your
we're
dad
doing.
your dad loves Papa's Pizzeria.
Yeah.
My dad's disappointed that all I love is romance.
Okay, but romance like it keeps us going. I swear romance is and I got no facts to go behind this, but it has to be like the best-selling genre. Like come on.
I would say one of them. I would say like that and maybe like mysteries maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd
I
love
see
to
a
get the
lot of
data.
people I see a lot of people buying mysteries at work. Especially those older men. They love their
Oh
like
my God, yeah.
or like
What is those
just
authors?
I don't know. They love like their general fiction, like the Dan Browns and the
Yeah.
James Pattersons and
There's like the Jack Reacher series or whatever. Like they were
Yeah.
always buying those when I was working at Barnes& and Noble.
Like I remember I was on the plane recently going to and home from PEI. And I remember there was like a bunch of these like older, like middle-aged men around me. And
That's always
like,
scary.
yeah. But I saw the books that they were reading, and I was like, you know what? This makes sense. This looks like a book that you should be reading. While I'm over
Yeah.
here with my silly, goofy little romance. It was also funny because there was this older man sitting like across from me, across the aisle, and I saw that he was like at the beginning of his book. And I started a competition with him in my head to see who was going to read more of their book on this plane. He had no idea this was happening.
Oh
No
my
one knew this was
God.
happening but me. But I was like, I want to see if I can read faster than
But
this
did
old
you beat
man.
him?
Yeah, because he kept putting his book down to watch shows on his phone. Like
Oh, so
amateur, like
he's just a loser.
he's just a weakling. Okay, I was committed on that 5 hour flight to reading my book, and I finished the entire thing.
Of course you did. I've always called you Lightning McQueen
Yes.
because she can read a book so quick, and I'm over here probably if we sat down at the same time with the same book, I would love to see that and like just time it because I'd probably be halfway through the book and you
Hmm.
finish the whole thing. Like I
We
don't
should
know
test
what it
that.
is. I
If
would
we
love to.
if we ever meet in person, we should do that, or just like through a video chat. Just like pick a book and just sit down and read it.
I would love to like just make a whole day like
Hmm.
reading party.
Hmm.
I so rarely get to just read all day anymore. Like
I know.
having jobs is so ugly.
It's so, yeah, like I've been feeling that a lot in the last year because I've now like been at my job for a year and I'm like, I don't know how to balance writing, reading, my job, YouTube, like so many things just fall to the wayside. Like there was a good like month or 2 month period where I wasn't really uploading on YouTube and that is so unlike me.
I
Um,
know. And then suddenly we make a podcast as if we have time for that.
yeah, and I know your boyfriend was like, "Do you have time for this? Like what are you doing?"
I know.
That
And I
was
was
funny.
like, he's been listening to every single one too. I was surprised.
Hey Kaden.
Surprise. Yeah. Thanks, Kaden. But I will say we did take a little second to get it jump started, but now we're here.
Yes.
So everybody shut up. But I'm a segue to the more interesting things of life, okay?
Yours is also very interesting. Don't downplay it. I love hearing about your progress, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I just feel like mine, we gotta get going, Peyton. Like, get to that third act and just literally write the whole rest of the book, like, in one sitting. That would be
Hmm.
crazy. But
You should do a whole vlog where you're like on a weekend or something. Like you should just be like
yeah,
finishing my book in the weekend. Like
I'm so close.
you're so
So if I
close.
can, like, map a weekend out, I mean,
If
Act 3 is
only
like 3 beats.
if only you didn't have a crazy long weekend, you could have like done it over the long weekend.
I know. Dad, you ruined it.
You could have planned a car crash for a more convenient time.
I know. Like, come on. Honestly, I probably still could have done stuff, but I was just like,
No.
my sister was coming home for her birthday,
Hmm.
though her birthday is this week, so it was like early. So it just all happened. It's honestly like he perfectly planned the car crash because we were already coming home. So
Yeah,
thanks to
that was crazy.
Okay, segue to Brittany. So I'm super excited to talk about this because I've been hearing about it. I've been watching the videos, but now I get to interview you about it.
That sounds
So
so official.
I know I'm an official interview woman. Okay.
Wow.
So I want to know what's the big update? I know people have probably already seen the videos, but if people have not, okay, last time we talked about it, we
Mhm.
discussed how there was an agent who's super interested, very excited, and you were waiting to get back to them because you had like a 2 week period where
Yes.
other agents also showed interest. So let me know, where do we go from here?
So I can't remember exactly where we were when we last recorded and talked about this, but I'll just like give like a rundown of it. So my agent, because I do have an agent now, spoiler alert,
Yeah.
she offered, and then we had an offer call, And then I was like, okay, I need 2 weeks to make a decision, nudge all the other agents that I have queries out with. So I then immediately after the call sent out all the nudges, and in total, I ended up getting 4 full requests out of those nudges. Many queries went unresponded. They just did not get back to me. I think there's gonna be like 7 agents that I just never heard back from.
Wow.
And I've definitely heard stories of people who like have been agented for years, even have like a book coming out, and then they get like a query rejection and they're like,
That's crazy.
what's happening? So I'm gonna be curious to see if any of these agents like get back to me in the future and just like completely like,
Like
you
two
know,
years.
yeah, like it's gonna be so interesting. I'm sure none of them will, but interesting regardless. So I got 4 requests, and 2 of them came back as rejections, I think, within that first week or at the beginning of the second week of my deadline. And I'm not gonna lie, the first one in particular hit a little bit hard. And I wasn't expecting that because I had an offer. I knew I was gonna be agented no matter what, but it hit hard still. And I think the reason for that is because I was not used to getting full requests and then getting rejections on those full requests. I was very used to and accustomed to getting rejections off of queries. So I knew
Yeah.
how to handle those feelings and I was like, okay, like they didn't read enough of the book, like whatever, it is what it is. But on the full book, obviously I don't know if they actually read the full book or just got to a certain point and they're like, this isn't for me. You can never really know those things. But it just kind of hurt. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like, okay. And then all that imposter syndrome started like settling in, which I feel like we did talk about in the last episode.
I think a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like imposter syndrome was settling in, and I was like, okay, so if I don't get another offer, then like I somehow tricked this agent into offering me representation, which obviously is not true. Many of people only get one offer. All you need is one yes, right?
That's true.
So yeah, yeah. So I was in my feelings, and then the second rejection came in, and I'm like, okay, it is what it is, whatever. I think I was just having a really hard time believing that I had an offer because of the years of turmoil and heartbreak and rejection. Because I was querying for 4 years, like just over 4 years, which is crazy. So I think I just wasn't used to the idea of like good things happening. And so I had a really hard time wrapping my head around the fact that like it was happening. So those first 2 rejections were really hard. And then fast forward to the day of my deadline, which was
The
August
26th?
26th. Yes, thank you. Um, and I still hadn't heard back from the other 2 agents with my full. And so I nudged them with another email and I was like, hey, just a reminder, deadline is today. I want to make a decision by 4 p.m. PST. Pretty soon after sending that email, I think within a half hour, I got a response from one of the agents, and she was like, I'm so sorry, like my daughter was sick this past week, so I didn't have time to like set up a call with you or anything. So what I got from that email was like she was going to offer. It would have
Yeah.
been an offer if her daughter hadn't gotten sick and like taken up a bunch of time. So that's unfortunate, but also at that point I was like, I'm just ready to sign with this
Yeah.
agent. Like I'm over this. This is too stressful. It's been a stressful 2 weeks. Like I just want this to be over. So I was like, okay, thank you. Wonderful. Amazing. Moving on. And then hours keep going by. I kept myself busy that entire day. I was cleaning my rooms because they desperately needed to be cleaned, and I was hanging out with my friend the next day and she was sleeping over. So it's like everything needs to be clean. I need to do my laundry. I need to, vacuum. I need to do all the things. So I was blaring music and I was cleaning my rooms and trying not to look at my phone too much. But of course, I still looked at my phone too much.
It's
But
hard not to in those
it,
moments.
I'm still finding myself obsessively checking my email, even though I now have my notifications turned back on for my author email in case something comes in, but I'm still anxiously checking my email. And I'm like, when is that going to end? Like, when am I
Yeah.
going to stop doing that? Because there are no responses coming in. And if they did, I would get an email about, like, a notification about it. So I don't know. That's just like a leftover habit of querying, I guess. Um, but yeah, so hours went by, no response from that final agent. 4 o'clock comes, and I'm like, I'm not waiting any longer. I told them my deadline. I'm ready to move on. Like already I was like, I've wasted this entire day not doing anything when I could have been like signed with my agent already. So I was like, I was just
Yeah.
like, after 4 years of waiting and waiting
You're
and waiting and
ready.
waiting, I was tired of waiting. Okay, there's this
Hmm.
song by Scott Hellman, and it's called Wait No More. And I has nothing to do with my situation. But him just saying, I don't want to wait no more, I'm like, dude, I feel you. I also don't
That's
want to
your
wait no
song.
more. That was my theme song for this moment. I was like,
It
I don't
makes
want to wait no
sense.
more. Yeah, so I was like, okay, like already like a few minutes before 4, I had my email drafted accepting the offer of representation. I was ready to go. So I sent it at 4, still hadn't heard back from this other agent. Um, already like getting a response back, I think, from the other, like my agent, uh, sending me the contract and everything. I was also getting my nails done. So like I had to leave the house to go get my nails done, and as I sit down in the chair, that's when my email from my agent came in, sending me the contract and like answering any questions that I had. And I was like, well, I can't read this right now. I'm
I
getting my
know,
nails
like
done.
your hands are
Yeah.
not in use at that point.
I know I got them done themed to my book.
I
So
love
they're
them. I
all,
saw them in your vlog and they're so cute.
yeah, they're all purple. I love them. That was my little celebration to myself. Originally, I was gonna get fall themed nails, and then I was like, no, like I need to take
Purple.
advantage of this opportunity. I've gotten compliments on them at work already. People love them.
Yes.
Yes. Um, so like can't respond to the email. And then I think it was 4:30, so a half hour after my deadline, that I got a response from that last agent being like, so sorry, I was aware your deadline was today. I thought I sent you an email yesterday, but it got stuck in my drafts, which
That's
I know the
so
feeling.
annoying.
I've had that happen to me before where like I thought I sent a query and then I go and check. I'm like, I haven't heard back from them yet. And I go and check and I didn't even send the query. It was in the
Oh
drafts. I'm
my
like, how
God.
does this happen? I don't know. Um, so yeah, they were like, ultimately it was a rejection. Like, but so happy that you have an offer. And I'm like, fantastic. I already like I'm about to sign the contract in like an hour, so like this doesn't matter anymore. Um, yeah, so then I got my nails done. I was very excited. And then me and my mom were kind of going around the mall a little bit. I'm like, I just want to get home. I just want to sign
Yeah.
this contract. Um, so later that night, I think I waited until after dinner because we got home, had dinner, and I was just like with my family. And then I finally officially, I don't remember what time it was, but it was like closer to like 9 p.m. Because I remember afterwards I went to go like tell my mom and she had fallen asleep already. So it was definitely like later in the evening. And I officially signed the contract. I recorded it for my querying
Yes.
vlog. So if you want to see the exact moment that I signed the contract, it is in that vlog. Um, I was looking at my like analytics for that video, and surprisingly, like there's a drop off at the part where like I'm finding out about the offer. I'm like,
What?
I'm like, why are you leaving during the most exciting part of the video? Like you stayed for all my
That is
crying,
weird.
but you
Yeah.
drop off. Like you're just here for the trauma. You don't want the excitement. Like that's so
Like,
strange.
honestly, that makes no sense because it's like, don't you want the happy ending
Yeah.
for the
Like I
sad
would
part?
almost expect that like there would be like a peak, like people like fast forwarding to that moment or something, but no.
Yeah.
So
I do have a
strange.
question about
Mm,
like the contract itself. One, was this like all over email? Did y'all call it all? And I've never seen a contract of this sort. Like, is it super
me either.
long? I know.
So
So,
yeah.
super long and like crazy language that you don't even understand.
Yeah, so the only call we had was that initial offer call where we sat down over Google Meets and we talked about the book and her vision for it, her editorial suggestions, my career, what I saw for myself as a writer, that kind of thing. So that's the only call that we had. Everything else was over email. So after the call, I didn't talk to her until I sent that offer acceptance on the 26th. And right after the call, she sent me like a boilerplate version of the contract that was just like an example, non-personalized version of the contract that I could look over to make sure there was like no red flags, see if I had any questions. I have never signed like a contract in my life besides like things for like a job or something. Like I've
Yeah.
never had to like put my career in somebody else's hands like this
I know.
before.
It sounds
So
scary,
yeah, I
but exciting.
definitely read through it and I was like, I don't know if I understand any of this. So I sent it to a couple of my friends who are agented, and I was like, "Does anything stand out to you?" Because obviously they've signed contracts before. One of my friends has had multiple agents, so she's seen multiple contracts. So I sent it to them, and I was like, "Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that sticks out to you, because I don't really know what I'm doing here." Um, and then one of the friends came back with a few questions, like things that they were like, I might be a little concerned about this, like maybe just like clarify some things. Like the language was a
Yeah.
little like, I don't fully know what they're saying here. So in my acceptance email, I listed out the questions for her to answer. And I felt like she explained it enough that I was like, okay, like I'm fine with this. This makes sense to me now. So then
That's
that's when,
good.
yeah, that's when she sent the official contract that was personalized to me. And then I signed it. So
That's so interesting because really, like, so many writers have probably reached this stage and like get this contract, and like, we have no way to know of like what should be in this. So it's good that you had people that knew a little bit more about it, but like,
yeah.
what do you do if you have no friends? You
I
know?
think it's so important, especially like when you get to like the querying stage, to make sure that you have like a solid group of friends, people who have been through it before, got out on the other side, people who are in the trenches with you. I
Yeah.
was extremely lucky to have gotten into Author Mentor Match, which was the mentorship program that I was in 2021, and I was able to meet a bunch of people from that program that I was in a writing group with, and a lot of us started querying at the exact same time,
That
or
is
like
cool.
within months of each other. So we were all kind of going through it at the same time. People signed with agents before others, and we were able to like hear their experiences. So that was like, I don't know what I would do without my writing group. You guys know who you are if you're listening. I love you so much. But like, I truly do not know where I would be without them. I like all the hard rejections I went to them about, and they celebrate my wins with me, and they are just like the absolute best. Um, and I know that like not everybody has that opportunity to like go through a mentorship program and find people that way. So I think social media is like a really important thing to like go to, and like trying to find other writers, or going through authortube here on YouTube, or like just trying to find those people that you can talk to and be honest with and share your experiences with each other. I think is just like absolutely essential to making it
For
in this
sure.
industry. So yeah, I don't know what I would have done without all of my writing friends. Like I truly cherish them. Like they help beta read, they help, like this book would not be what it is without my writing friends. Because like my friend Kaylee read the second draft of this book, which I've never done before in my life. I've only ever sent out like third draft and above, but I desperately needed help, and this book would not be what it is without her help. Um, and without everybody else's help who had eyes on this book, like you. You read this book twice.
I don't even remember. I keep like trying to figure these things out. I don't know.
I
I
think
know
you
I
read
read
it.
it.
I think you read it twice. Because I think I had you read it, and then I did revisions, and I was like, "Can you read it and like tell me if it got better or worse or the same?" I think.
I love the book. I'm just so excited about it. But
Thank you.
to go off what you were just saying, like, completely agree. Like, you had a very unique situation with the mentorship program.
Hmm.
I wish that was still around. Like, that was such
Me
a cool
too.
thing.
Yeah.
But authortube, booktube, Twitter, like, there's just so many places to find people. And I just love it. I just joined what is that word? A Discord, a writing Discord, and
Did
that's been
you?
really cool. Yeah. So,
Oh, exciting!
yeah, because I've been doing a bunch of those like writing sprints, and a bunch of those people were
Right.
part of the same like Discord. So they invited me to join, and I'm like,
Stop. That's
okay.
so cute.
I
Oh
know. So
yeah.
I'm trying because I do think like the community is important, especially
Mhm.
when writing is such like a solitary thing. Like you have to find ways to be able to connect with people. And because how are you going to make it better just with yourself? Like at some point you need somebody else to look at it and tell you like
Yeah.
what's going on because it can be hard. So
Hmm.
I think that's cool.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I didn't
Thank
know that. That's so cute.
It's recent. Oh my God. So what's really exciting about you? doing this recently is now your writing plans have shifted. You're originally going to work on your adult rom-com book this summer. I guess we're entering fall now, which is weird.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. For real, I already got a bunch of pumpkin stuff out, so important times. But writing plans have shifted because now you're going to be revising What You Mean to Me again. And I'm very
Yes.
curious, like, how you are going about these revisions. I know you had the offer call, and it was like y'all's creative visions, like, kind of aligned, which is
Mhm.
important. So I'm interested to see, like, what kind of changes. Obviously, you don't gotta spoil nothing, but
Yeah.
like, what sort of things are going on, and what is the timeline possibly for submitting this to editors? So I'm excited.
Crazy. So, yeah, so on the offer call, we went through some of her bigger edits. She didn't delve into too many of like the small ones, just some of the bigger ones. And the biggest issues that she found were in the ending, in the last 80% of the book. And when we got on the call, she was like, "How do you feel about the book? Like, where do you feel like needs more work?" And I said the ending
Endings
because
are
I love
hard.
the ending. I love the ending, but I do find that sometimes I can rush the ending just wanting to get to the end. Like sometimes I do
That's how
that when
I
I'm
feel right now.
yeah, like I do that when I'm initially drafting, and then sometimes I can just never bulk it up enough and like stretch things out enough to make it the way that I want. Um, and so I did mention the ending, and she's like, "I'm so glad that you said that because I have thoughts on the ending." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm nervous about the ending and those edits because I think there's a few different routes that I could take to address some of her suggestions, and I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I started a reread of the book a couple days ago to kind of jumpstart all of this revision stuff because she did send me my edit letter on Friday. What day was it? It was just like the other day. It was Friday the 29th is when she sent it. So right before the long weekend. So August 29th, she sent me my edit letter, which basically had everything that she had talked about with me in the offer call, and then a few extra little things that she didn't bother to mention in the call. And obviously, all of these are just suggestions. I don't have to do what she suggests. But I thankfully liked a lot of her suggestions. I think there's one or two things that I'm not gonna do, but they're more like stylistic things that I don't particularly feel necessary. I'm still kind of debating on it. Um, but thankfully, like I've had experience getting like edit letter type things before because of Author Mentor Match, because of having like all my friends beta read for me and stuff. So I'm used to getting the edit letter and like trying to figure out how to take some of their information and like leave other things and how to incorporate that into the book. So the process that I'm doing for this one is rereading the book, which I'm currently in the middle of. I'm like over 100 pages into it, I think. And something that I don't know if I've fully done before is I basically have another document open. So I've got like a split screen situation happening, and I am like taking notes. Like I'm breaking it down chapter by chapter, scene by scene. So as I'm reading the chapter, I'll write down what's happening in the chapter, and then if there's things that I'm noticing that she mentioned in the edit letter, I'm writing that down in like a separate little like note that I'm like coloring in red. So like there's some timeline questions that she had that she wants me to like fully figure out, and we're potentially changing the timeline of my character's breakup that they had. In the book, it's
Interesting.
currently yeah. In the book, it's currently a year that they've been broken up, but she's suggesting maybe doing 2 years, which is gonna
Oh, wow.
change things. So I have to like figure out like what the timeline is in the book and then what we're going to be changing it to. So basically, anytime I mention a timeline, so if I'm like, oh, a year ago we did this, or I haven't seen him since last year, like I'm taking note of that so that when I go through, I can make those adjustments and I'm not missing anything. So I'm
Hmm.
having a lot of timeline things being noted on the side. And then if I'm reading and I get any ideas for things that can address her edits, I'm writing that down as well as I'm going along. I've also been doing some post-it note planning for the ending. I got an idea for the ending as I was going through of something that could happen. So That's what I'm doing right now is I'm starting with a reread and creating like a new outline that I'm going to be able to work off of once I'm done the reread and can like properly brainstorm all of the edit suggestions out
Yeah.
and do all that. So right now I'm just putting like any initial ideas that I get while going through, and then I'll go through the outline again, like looking closer at her edit letter and doing that kind of thing. That's just kind of what came to my mind when I was like, how do I tackle this? That's
Yeah.
kind of like the system that felt best to my brain. At some point, I might ask her to hop on another call with me to discuss the ending. I'm thinking I might try to like brainstorm different alternate endings, like different things that I could do, different routes I could take, and then ask her opinion on it. Because I really like the suggestions that she had for the ending, and I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate it, what I can keep from the original ending. Maybe if I have to move things from the original ending around, like move them to like a later point or whatever. So I think there's going to be, I think the ending is going to look quite different, which
Interesting.
I'm
I
kind
can't wait to see that.
yeah, there's an
I liked
epilogue.
the ending, so
Thank you.
I'm
Me
interested to
too.
see if we're making it like that much better. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna be really good.
I'm seeing the potential. I'm seeing what could happen and what it could be, and I'm getting excited about it. I'm just nervous about executing it in a good way, and like I want to get it right on this first try.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see, but right now there's an epilogue in the book, and that is one thing that I said in the call. I was like, I like the epilogue, I like where we end up. So whatever I do before that, I want to make sure that I can relatively keep that the same. I might expand upon it a little bit more, but in general, I want the epilogue to still be there. And she agreed. She also liked the epilogue. So we're going to try to make sure that whatever I do beforehand, we can kind of still work with the current epilogue that I have, which takes place a year after the events of the book. So
Yeah.
the circumstances of it might change, things that lead up to it might change, but at its core, I would like the epilogue to still be there. I do like having a little flash forward epilogue in
I
my
do
books.
too. It just makes it like wrap up a little bit better, you know.
Yeah,
Makes you feel good. There's
especially
still, oh, I won't spoil it.
but especially since like I have no plans for like a sequel for this book, for example, like I have no intentions
Mhm.
of writing another book, which she asked me about. She's like, "Do you see this as a standalone? Do you see companion books? Like, do you?" And I'm like, "No, I this is a standalone. I don't have any plans on writing anything in this world in these characters." So I think that's important for me to have that like clean wrapped up ending. Whereas I have another book where the epilogue is just like a week later, and I'm potentially planning a spin-off of that book.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because like for the fans of the standalone, it gives them that little gift at the end. Like they know that it's gonna be okay. But the other
Yeah.
one, like it just lets you linger a little bit while you wait for the next one.
Yeah. So the current timeline deadline that I have is October 10th to get these edits done. And then I think we're gonna like she's gonna read it, tell me what she thinks, and then I think we're gonna do like a pass that's more like maybe line level. I know that unfortunately I need to change all my Canadian English to American English.
Oh no.
I know, because we're submitting to American publishers, so I gotta drop all my U's, and I'm so sad about it. I've been dreading this day.
Oh my God. I can't imagine how annoying that has to be. Like, though you could probably like find all the words and like just
Yeah.
replace them, but you got to think of every word that
Yeah,
has
like I
that
know
extra U.
favorite, color, favor, like words like those. And I'm not looking forward to it because I think the words look so much prettier with a U.
I don't disagree, to be honest. It
Yeah.
just gives it a little extra something.
And like I was about to say, like, I don't know why we have two different Englishes, but I do know it's because American, like, printers, like when they were making papers and stuff, it was cheaper if they had less letters, so they would drop the
Wait,
U.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't
So,
know that.
yeah, when they were making like newspapers and stuff on like a printing press, it was like cheaper or easier. They had to like pay by the letter or something, and so they would drop U's
Oh,
because they
wow.
weren't technically needed. Like the words were still like the same if you took them out. It just looks better with them, in my opinion.
That's
So
interesting lore
yeah, that's why.
about language.
I don't remember where I learned that, but it's annoyed me my whole life. because
It
I
makes
think it would
sense.
be.
America with money, like they're gonna save save the money if they can.
Yeah, 'cause I think Canadian English is so much prettier, but I think my agent suggested having two different versions of the book, one that we can submit to Canadian publishers with the Canadian English, and then one that we submit to American publishers with the American English. So that's
Yeah,
going to
that
be
makes
interesting.
sense.
Yeah. It's very sad. Because like it's funny when I'm reading a book set in Canada and it's using American English. I'm like, hey, but like
I
I
know, I've never
understand.
thought about that, but
Yeah. Like
that
reading
does seem
like
like a terrible thing.
reading like Carly Fortune, and I'm like, it's American English, but they all take place in Canada. I hate it.
Yeah, that's like a crime.
It is.
You just
But
brought our attention to it. Thank
I
you.
know. You're welcome. I live to bring attention to the missing U's that hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
R.I.P. all of my U's.
Oh my God, as you're actively deleting all of them. So
Oh my god, I'm
I
gonna
want to put
cry.
the timeline. Today is September 4th, and you
Mhm.
have the deadline of October 10th. So that's a quick one.
Yeah,
Are you
and it's
stressed?
it's my fault.
Is it really?
Yeah, because she asked me in the call, like, how long do I do revisions? Like, does it take me a long time? Do I do it faster? And she's like, some people can take like 6 weeks. Some people like take months. And I'm like, I'm probably closer to the 6 week mark. And so when she sent me the edit letter, she was like, okay, so 6 weeks from now would be October 10th. So, like, tentatively, we can aim for that date. If you need longer, let me know. Like, it is what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, okay, I want to get it done by October 10th. And I think that I can. I think if I just, like, really dedicate myself to it, like, don't dilly dally like I've been doing recently. Like, I need to treat this now like a proper job because I don't think I've been doing
Yeah.
that in the recent months. Treat it like an actual job, take it seriously. I think that I can do it. And
I
it's
think you can too,
actually,
for sure.
thank you. I think it's actually my plan to finish before October 10th and then give myself time to like read through it again because with the amount of changes that I'm thinking we're going to be making to the ending, I don't want it to stand out amongst the other writing. Like I don't want it to feel like it's messier than the rest of it because I don't draft super clean. So I am worried about like those scenes not standing up against the other ones. So I definitely want to make sure I can go through it again to try to clean things up and make sure it's all good. I actually think I'm going to go start with the ending first when I go through. And then I can go back to the beginning, integrate the smaller things. And then by the time I get back to the ending, I can edit it a little bit and then go through again and read it again.
Dang.
You
That's
really have to love your
interesting.
book because you
Yeah.
do read it a million. Like I don't even know how many times I've already read this book. Like before every revision, I reread it. Like I'm constantly rereading this book. Um, but it's been really nice recently, like the past couple of days that I've been rereading it because it has been like I think this is the longest chunk that I have gone without reading it since I started working on the second draft because there was quite a period of time from the first to the second draft. But since then, like I've been consistently working on it. But I started querying it in like October of 2024, so I haven't really touched it since then. So it's kind of interesting to go back through and read it, and I really love it. It's making
That's
me really
good. Like,
happy.
do you think the distance made you love it more? Because now you don't remember exactly how you said everything now?
I think so because there was like I did do a little bit of editing on it after getting a rejection on a full back in maybe like November or something. So I had gone through it again to add a couple of extra things. And I think that there was like a new paragraph that I added that I don't remember adding. And I reread it yesterday and I was like, whoa, like I kind of like sat back for a second. And I was like, I actually really like that. And I didn't remember that that was there. So
Those are
there
the
there are
best
moments,
moments.
yeah, there are moments like that where I'm like, I don't remember writing this line, but damn, do I love it.
I did something with that.
Yeah.
That's so nice, though. I'm glad you're having a good experience because I can't imagine the utter panic if I was reading it and be like, oh my God, this is actually terrible. Oh my God. But
Yeah.
this is interesting, though. It sounds like you're adding like new scenes. So you're
Hmm.
gonna have to fully like draft them for the first time and put them through several stages of like
Yeah.
just attacking the words.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I think there's a couple different ways that I can take it, the ending, and am gonna be curious to see what we land on. Like I said, I do want to talk to my agent about it, I think, just to make sure that she also thinks they're good, see if she has any suggestions, because some things that she was suggesting when we were talking on the call, I was like, I love your brain. Like I love like never like I've worked on this book for like 5 drafts and these things never occurred to me. But thank you because they're amazing. So I'm like
It's
really excited.
good. That's good to have somebody that can like actually bring it that much further because I mean the draft I read last time, I thought like my notes I sent back, I was like, this is good. I was like, I think this is ready. Like I barely said anything. So
Yeah.
like I think this is really exciting for me as a fan. As a fan, I'm like, one, I got like a secret ending, because this ending's
Yeah.
about to change. So I still got the file on my computer. So I feel
I do
special.
I do still think that like most things are going to stay. It's just there's going to be things in between them, circumstances around them might change, but I think most scenes in the ending will remain. It's just
I'm
going to
just
look a little bit different.
we're
Um,
just getting more.
yeah. But you've had this experience before where I've sent you a book and then I've changed the ending. Like Reasons Why Not to, I
Yeah.
think I changed the ending like 3 times.
Yeah.
So like you have like 3 different versions in your inbox or something.
But honestly, that's like what's so fun. I think that's something that I've been letting free because in the past, writing a first draft, I'm like, this has to be exactly right? And I'm a discovery writer, so if you need to write several different versions of the beginning or the ending, like do that and then figure out which one like connects the most? So
Yeah.
are you gonna do like several, because you said you have several different ideas, like are you gonna attempt to write
I think I'm just
several?
gonna write like little like summaries maybe of them or like a mini outline so it doesn't have like all the details but just like or maybe when I get to the end maybe one will just make more sense than the other ideas I have floating in my head. I really don't know, but I don't think I'm gonna write them without
Okay.
figuring out which one I want to do first.
Yeah, I feel like your brain is more set for that. I'm over here like I need to be in it because I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. So I
Yeah.
trust you.
Oh,
I'm
thank you.
excited to read it.
Me too. I was texting Alyssa about it yesterday, and I'm just like, I'm just really excited for like the potential of what this book is going to become. Because obviously, in order to query, you need to feel like you have taken the book as far as you can on your own, make it as good as you can on your own. Um, and that's what I did. Like, I felt like this was the best that I could do on my own.
Hmm.
Um, and now she's coming back to me with all these suggestions, and I'm like, oh my God, like this book's only going to get better. And I'm
No, for
excited
real.
because I
That's
never
the
imagined these things.
that's the thing is like I think that's what's so cool about traditional publishing is you do get that whole team of people. Like obviously you had your friends. Um, but like these people, this is their life. They're getting paid to do this. So it's just cool. And like we're always comparing our drafts to like the finished copies.
Mhm.
And these books have gone through the hands of all of the writer friends, to the agents, to the editors. So
And it's like multiple editors too, because you'll get your
yeah.
developmental editor and then it's like a different copy editor. And I'm excited for that too. So this book better sell
Yeah.
because I want that
It's
experience
gonna.
too.
I
I
believe it.
hope
Like,
so.
I have no doubt about it. I really feel it.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm
I'm
thinking
also excited.
submission like end of October is probably what it's gonna be.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm trying to live in this excitement. I'm trying to live
Yeah.
in, the aftermath excitement of signing with an agent and the excitement to be revising again because that's my favorite stage of writing.
Yeah.
And especially these later revisions where like I know this book and I know these characters so well that like it feels just like reuniting with old friends, which sounds really cheesy, but
Mhm.
like I'm just so happy to be like in this book again. And so I'm just really trying to like bask in that before the anxiety of submission starts because I'm sure that's not going to be fun.
No, yeah, I think you're doing the right thing. Like, you need to really enjoy this moment because
Yeah.
different anxieties are about to slap us in the face.
Yeah. And I've been like trying to like celebrate a lot. Like I celebrated with one of my friends. We got pizza and we watched
Yes.
Starstruck.
Of
to
course, of
celebrate.
course.
Yeah, and we went to IHOP the next morning. Like we had our little sleepover, went to IHOP the next morning. And then we went fall decor shopping, which was really cute. And then today, my friend and I are going out to this new little romance bookshop that opened downtown, and I'm really excited for that. And that's like our little celebration. I think we're gonna get food too. Um, and then my parents promised to take me out to a nice dinner soon, but it's my sibling's birthday in a couple of days, so they're like, we're gonna wait till after your sibling's birthday and then we can celebrate. And I'm like, that's fair. I don't want their birthday to be overshadowed by me. So we're gonna wait, but
But
maybe like in the next couple of weeks.
I'm curious, what is the first food for celebration that came to mind? Like, what did you want to eat?
Like for the dinner with my family or
Mm-hmm.
steak.
A big old steak.
Big old steak. Not like I like okay, I had a bunch of steak when I was on vacation. We just went to a restaurant over the weekend, and I got steak, and they were like, "Do you want this to be your celebration dinner?" I was like, "Well, no, because my sibling wasn't there. They stayed home." And so I was like, "We need to all be there." So this is just a regular
Get
old
another
dinner.
steak.
Yeah, I just want the sole reason for us going out to be because we are celebrating. Like, I want to get dressed up all cute, and I want
Mm.
to like, I don't know. Like, I've been waiting for this since I was like queering in 2021. Like, I remember having like a mental breakdown in front of my mom, just sobbing, and like I had up until that point been like very guarded about querying. Like, and I didn't tell her anything. I was like, don't ask me about it unless I bring it up. Like I will come to you if I want to talk about it. And I don't remember what happened, but I just like broke down in tears and was just sobbing. I'm like, this is so
Mm.
hard. And then I was like, you better take me out to a nice dinner to celebrate once I get an agent.
Yeah.
And she has no recollection of saying this because I brought it up on our trip and she was like, I
Oh
don't
my
remember
God.
saying that. And I'm like, I promise you, you did. I'm not making this up just to get a dinner. Like, I promise you, you said this to me and I've been holding on to this for years.
You getting that nice dinner, that
Getting
big
that
old
steak.
steak.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, for real, watching the queering vlog, like I appreciated the honesty and all the emotions you shared because I know that's not like fun to do
Yeah.
that, but like it really is like a brutal experience for so many people. Like you so rarely hear about people having a good experience, you know?
Yeah.
Even like people who only go through it for like a short time, like getting that many rejections never
Mhm.
feels good, you know? So you were very resilient. And that's why this happened. That's why I always said, like, the people that don't give up and, like, whether they have to switch to a different book, because even if you're technically shelving a book, like, your agent, I don't know why wouldn't be interested in those, you know? So, like,
Yeah.
you really just had to get a yes for one of the projects. And then I
Mhm.
believe I'm calling out to this lady, Nikki, get these books out here.
This lady Nikki, that's so funny.
No, for real, she's probably hasn't even read them, but like once she reads them, I think she'll be excited about those too.
Yeah,
So,
I hope so. I don't know what we're gonna work on after submission. We said that we'd get there when we get there, so we're
I
gonna see
know.
if we do a newer project or if we do one of those. I'm hoping, honestly, for the show must go on. That's kind of where my heart's kind of tugging at the moment. And I
Interesting.
honestly was kind of brainstorming the spin-off book, the companion book, the other day.
Yeah,
So
I do think that's a good idea. And like people really like companions these days, so
hmm
I feel like that makes sense.
and it's
What?
like still music related, so it still like goes with Wim Tim quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, Oh my God, that is genius.
thank you. I try. Um, Another thing that I'm doing to celebrate getting an agent is I'm in the process of potentially getting some art commissioned
Oh
of my
yeah,
characters.
that
Yeah,
is exciting. Like, are you just getting a picture of them together or like separate pictures of each character?
I'm getting one of them together and I'm doing a scene from the book. And I've reached out to an artist that my friend recommended and she got back to me the other day. And I was waiting until like I was reading through the book to figure out what scene I wanted because I had an idea in my head of what scene I wanted, but I couldn't remember specific details from that scene that I would want depicted. And I reread that scene last night. It's one of the last scenes that I just reread. and I think I know exactly what I'm doing, and I'm very excited.
Ah,
So I emailed her back and was like, "Would love to know the next steps. Like, let's get this started. What do you need from me? Because I've never had art commissioned. It's going to be very expensive. It's going to be
I'm
very
sure,
expensive
yeah.
because it's not like a Canadian artist. It's not an American artist. I honestly don't even know where they're from, but it's somewhere foreign, and the
Mm.
conversion to Canadian dollars was quite steep.
Oh, dang. That
But I'm
sucks.
sure it's going to be worth it. And I'm going to use my birthday money, which I was originally going to save to potentially go to BookCon. But I'm going to save other money for BookCon. It's fine. So I'm going to use my birthday money to kind of treat myself a little bit to some character art, which I will obviously be sharing once I get it, which is very exciting.
Yes, I'm excited. You need to at least message me what scene you're thinking about. You
I
probably don't
will.
want to share on here, but
I can
I'm
tell you
very
when we're done.
curious. Okay, good. I'm
We're just
very curious.
teasing the
I
listeners. I'm
know.
so
I
sorry.
like I like teasing them. Stick around. Thank you guys so much for listening and getting our juicy updates. We're very excited for everything that's happening with Brittany. I hope you are too. And definitely stay tuned. I think we're going to start after this episode being bi-weekly. We kind of just was throwing these out here because we had some crazy news and we just wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be here every 2 weeks and we're excited to continue talking about our writing journeys with you. So long.
Bye.
Bye.